Hi, babies. Welcome back to the 4th episode of Double Gemini podcast season 2. I'm your host, Gabi.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
And we have a very special guest, Anna. Say hi.
I'm back.
Season
2.
Back and better than ever. First guest of...
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I am still back.
I'm going to pull out the spray bottle if you don't stop it, Anna.
As promised last episode, we're going to be talking about Bo Burnham's new special, Inside. Surprise, surprise, we actually stuck to what we said we were going to do.
I wasn't sure for a minute there if we were going to or not.
Yeah, me neither. I wasn't sure where this was going to go.
We like to change up our stuff. We like to change up our things like right before it starts.
We're just so quirky and original.
Oh my God. We're just like,
we love to live
else.
spontaneously.
Period.
Always.
And that's on period, Pope.
Live, laugh, love, bitches.
Gatekeep, girl boss. Wait, what's the third one? Gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss.
Gabi Hannah.
Yeah, that's what we're naming this episode. It's all about how to gas keep, gate light, girl boss, boss
Vape
girl.
life. Horse girl.
Oh my God, isn't there a movie that's coming out about horse girls?
Yeah, it has the girl that played Madison.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about.
Oh my God, I don't know either.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Horse
it's like,
girls.
I guess she's turning into like a horse is what I got from the trailer.
It was like, but it seems like it's like a horror movie.
Yeah.
And she's like shifting into a horse because she's like so passionate about being a horse girl.
So she's a furry.
No idea if that's actually what the plot of it at all is.
Yeah, I didn't want to take the time to watch it, even though I had the time to watch it. It just didn't.
No,
didn't think
I wouldn't.
it'd be good. Mm-mm.
No. Not
guys, I changed my sheets today.
Wow, really?
So
yeah.
What color are they?
They're the floral blue ones.
Nice.
Cute.
I washed my sheets after you left the other week.
Nice.
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure there were a lot of popcorn crummies in the bed.
Absolutely.
Gross.
I finally took that bowl of popcorn downstairs too that had just like the kernels. Colonel Sanders. Little Colonel Sanders.
The Colonel Sanders movie or whatever.
Oh, yeah. That's weird. Anyways, wow. We never get off topic this close to the beginning. So this is going to be a wild ride, I feel like.
Can we call it getting off topic when we never were on topic?
We did mention that Bo's special.
We mentioned that we were going to talk about it, but we never started talking about it.
Well, yeah. I guess we can relate Gabi Hannah to Bo Burnham because Gabi Hannah stalked Bo Burnham and then pretended that she was dating him by making a whole Facebook pretending to be Bo Burnham.
And let's preface that she was in college.
Yeah, no, deadass.
She was a whole ass adult.
She made a Facebook pretending to be Bo and had she photoshopped a photo of them together and acted like they were dating. But then a year or two later, she went to his live show and took a photo with him and then updated that to be the profile photo.
And she
was terrifying.
She did a whole story time too on YouTube about it, about how she tricked everybody into thinking that she was dating him. And she was like, oh my God. And his Wikipedia page was just, changed as if she didn't go in and change it herself.
Yeah.
To say that they were dating. It was so weird.
Yeah. She's so scary. But then she's acting like it wasn't a big deal.
No, that's stalker energy.
Absolutely.
I'd be scared to go outside too if I were him.
Yeah, I think that's why in White Woman Instagram, he did the black and white with all the words on the face.
That's exactly why.
But it gave her
We should get Gabi Hannah on this podcast.
I would love, honestly, I would love to get her on the
really
podcast.
Want to talk to her and really figure out why she's a psycho.
Because all the stuff she was doing was for attention, and now she's like, I tricked all of you guys, and I was like,
No, I think you're having a mental breakdown.
You're trolling the internet. You're trying to be like Trisha.
Yeah, and look how good that turned out for Trisha.
Literally. At least Gabi Hannah wasn't pretending to be a good person, though.
Yes, she was. She literally was a rape apologist about her best friend and tried to say that her best friend was like making it up or some shit and that the dude never raped her. And then she literally went and like lied about it. And there's like receipts and stuff. So she is shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Gabi Hannah.
Damn. Glad I never paid attention to her.
Good,
yeah. I got bad vibes from day one. I don't know what it was. No, I know what it was. It was because she spelled her name BBIE. And I was like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's the same thing as a BBY Gabi. I don't trust it. I don't trust that.
What you are the superior Gabi.
Yeah, is GABI the only acceptable one?
No, I feel like GABY is fine.
See, I think so only GABBY makes more sense than GABY.
I was thinking that too.
I think BBIE is just too much. BB. Like that's like the lowest end.
BB8. What's like a white person spelling that you could do? Like I saw Riley spelled the other day as RILEIGH.
I think
what would be the Gabi equivalent of that?
GABEIGH.
Yeah, I was gonna say anything with the EIGH is just that's white.
Gabi. Bebe. The Bebe. Oh, you guys don't watch Schitt's Creek, but Moira talks like that in it.
I get the reference.
Oh, you get the reference? You of all people get the reference? That's insane.
It's called TikTok.
That's fair.
David. Okay, anyways. Yeah, we are totally off track. We need to get on topic.
Girl boss gatekeep.
And gaslight.
Gabi
Hannah. It's like reuse, recycle Rihanna.
Literally. Wow. Just the worst version of it.
Yeah, really it is though.
It's the ugly sister version.
Oh no. Okay, so Bo Burnham's Inside. It's been kind of trending for a month now?
Yeah, as soon as it came out, it immediately, on TikTok at least, it blew up immediately.
Right. Well, there were like...
At least our side of TikTok, because it blew up, but for a long time, most of the audios only had like maybe 100 videos.
And all the videos were like, oh, this sound only has this many videos. And then you click on the sound and it has like 300 more than that. And it's like, yeah, guys.
Well, it's because 300 more people. It's because 300 more people are making that same exact video.
Right.
Like, oh
so
my
it's
God.
like, we get it.
Like it evolved from using like, I feel like shit to now like a whole trend of like, do you pass Bo Burnham's white woman Instagram test?
I think that's so annoying because I went to actually look at the sound to see which part of the song it started at, and it only gets through 3 of his list. So it goes like latte foam art, and then it's like tiny pumpkins, and then what's the one after it?
Fuzzy socks. I think.
Yeah, comfy fuzzy socks. And then the audio ends. So it's like, so it's kind of like a trick where you can't get past it anyways. Like the trend can only go as far as the tiny pumpkins.
I love
that. Sounded so poetic.
Wow.
The trend only goes as far as
thinking about it since
pumpkins.
Yesterday. I know. Yeah. And I want to like go to the song again and like look through to see where it would stop for me actually. But I guess everybody has tiny pumpkins on their Instagram.
I guess so. I'm pretty sure I did too. I don't know. I feel like if I went through mine, I'd find something.
I absolutely do. They were probably from last Halloween.
Okay, I gotta go look through the list now.
Latte foam.
I'm not gonna lie. The first time I watched Inside and he went through the white woman Instagram, like I was watching it late at night after work, so I wasn't really like thinking about it. So I wasn't like picking up on all of his like critical thinking that went into it. And I just sat there and I remember going, I wish my Instagram looked like that.
That's the whole thing.
Right.
Because it's like these really pretty compositions and shit. But the wrong side of TikTok picked it up and was like, he's being misogynistic. And it's like, no, he's really not.
Oh my God. There are so many criticisms that I think we have to get into when we talk about this, about like people trying to find problematic things about the special.
I do. I have Kirby with pumpkins. Where'd it go?
Oh, there
That's
it is.
so cute.
Count.
That was from 2019. But I know I have like tiny, tiny ones, but that's...
I think the closest I can get is a vintage neon sign.
Absolutely.
But that's almost at the end. No, that is like right at the end.
Wow, you're so quirky.
I'm just built different.
I think my favorite...
Oh, sorry, Gabby.
No, you're good. I think my favorite photo that he made fun of, not made fun of, but did, and that was the little daisy eye one. I was like, I have seen this on so many people's Instagrams, and also like the Urban Outfitters mirror photo when he's just like...
I love where his little ass is out.
Oh my God, I know.
Photos are probably going to be on the screen if you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on YouTube, because since you can't see us, RIP, we put some effort into actually put in photographs and stuff. So appreciate it, please.
We have fun here.
We have a good time here.
Taylor, go through the first of the list. I want to see what I got.
Okay, hold on. Let me go back to it. So it starts with latte foam art, tiny pumpkins.
So far, no.
Socks.
I thought it was avocado.
Not yet.
Oh, I thought that was right in the beginning. Fuck.
A coffee table made out of driftwood. Oh, wait. Sorry. Yeah. At the very beginning, I missed the beginning. It's an open window, a novel, a couple holding hands, an avocado, a poem written in the sand, fresh fallen snow on the ground, a golden retriever in a flower crown, a bobblehead of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a needlepoint of a fox, some random quote from Lord of the Rings incorrectly attributed to Martin Luther King. And that whole bit about the girl's mom being dead. Rip.
He killed both her parents in that song. I don't understand why.
Give a hug and kiss to dad. No, they're both dead.
It's her evil backstory.
It's her Joker
why she
moment.
went to the dark side. Joker. Yeah. I don't know why I thought I would have any of that, because my Instagram, remember when that whole thing, I don't know if it's actually still a thing to have an Insta and a Finsta.
Not really. No,
because my Instagram has always been a Finsta. I do not post anything aesthetic. I shit post on every social media I have.
I support it, honestly. I wish I had the balls to do that.
I've gotten a little more aesthetic in my last few Instagram posts. Aesthetic.
I just post way less than I used to.
Yeah, you used to post like 4 times a day.
Yeah.
And then delete it like an hour later.
Yep.
You had like 5 Instagrams doing it all at once. Like you were on the clock.
I actually have to go back through and delete some of my pictures, I think. Because I also post a lot more than necessary.
Pictures. You posted it in the world.
I have some free feet pics up on it. So maybe those should come down.
No free content.
No.
Yeah.
Never. Speaking of content, that's the first song in the special.
It is.
Patty made you some content. Open wide. That had me shook. I was like, wow,
there is definitely some like sex appeal to Bo in the special.
Oh yeah.
That I don't think he's had before. Which is so funny to me because it's like he is definitely at his lowest. And we're like, he looks great. So do you think that's flattering to him, or do you think that makes him feel worse?
I feel like it would make him feel not worse, just like maybe uncomfortable.
Confused.
What's that? There used to be a theory of like, not necessarily a theory, but just like this idea that women go towards broken men because they want to fix them.
Oh, it's a thing.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
Do you think that's what's happening? Do you think that's what's happening right now?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Absolutely. I'm not even going to
Bo Burnham.
It's a collective, like, I want to help.
Of course, it's like, I don't know what it is. It's like not like a mother hen instinct. It's like something more psychotic where you just like want to fix broken men. But then you don't want to fix yourself, even though you're like equally as broken.
Lying on the ground.
Lying naked on the ground. I'm torn. Get it? Okay.
I pose a question to everyone,
To the
all
group.
three of us. Do you remember it's like in the first 10 minutes, it's like that 1 second of him as Gamer Bo suddenly pops up. Is that meant to be like, this is just all like him watching himself?
Do we think it was intentional? Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker went through that thing 4 million times, I'm sure, and rewatched it, edited it, do all that stuff. Of course, everything he does is intentional.
Mm-hmm.
I have been seeing a lot of things on TikTok that people are like, oh, like he didn't make this himself, like all by himself. Like, look at the end credits. But if you actually like read the titles of to who was credited, it was for things like, sound, production, like post stuff, like color. Yeah. And so it's like people were trying to say like he didn't film it himself or he wasn't alone during it. And none of the like credits at the end said that anybody else was doing anything like that.
Yeah, it was just the sound. I think it was like visual and then producers, and that was it. And then he dedicated it to his girlfriend.
Yeah. So I think that argument's pretty stupid.
Yeah, I saw that one TikTok that was like, my friend did like work for Bo's new special. There's like BTS photos and people are like, post them then.
All right. Receipts. No, of course not.
Literally.
Right.
Another Gabi Hannah trying to get clout.
This episode just relates back to Gabi Hannah in every single way.
Gatekeep.
We said it was going to be Bo Burnham, but really it's Gabi Hannah.
It's just a big trick.
She'd love this, wouldn't she?
Probably.
Now I think, like, I don't know. There's so much criticism about it, which I think is, I guess it comes with everything anybody does that becomes popular. There's obviously going to be a lot of criticism against it, but did you guys see the thing about, and we don't really have to talk about it because I feel like probably not our place, but about the person trying to claim that he was anti-Semitic and the whole special was anti-Semitic. But the argument like wasn't really there. It was like the part about Jeff Bezos like drinking blood was used as a metaphor for anti-Semitism because people try to say that Jews are vampires. And then people were like, oh, is Jeff Bezos Jewish? And they were like, no.
Right. I was literally just going to ask that. So like, what does any of it have to do with?
They were just like really reaching to connect these things that have been Jewish stereotypes to the things he was saying as if it was anti-Semitic by like trying to like say in the beginning, he says,
I feel like
a Jew walks into the bar and I saved him a seat. And they were trying to say that that was anti-Semitic, but that was just a critique on, jokes that have always been made about like Jewish people being like the like, what's the word? The
butt end of the joke.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I saw that TikTok too. And I was like, but yeah, I thought the Jeff Bezos drinking blood was just because he was like a money hungry capitalist piece of shit.
Absolutely.
I didn't relate it to that at all.
As too. I didn't see. I think I even caught that joke about the what you just said, the Jew walking in the bar.
Yeah,
I don't think I even heard that.
It's in the second song, and he goes, "A Jew walks into a bar, and I saved him a seat." that's healing the world with comedy. And so, but the reason why I bring it up is because someone actually responded to this TikTok and made a stitch to it and said like, oh, you can't just throw out the word anti-Semitism like out willy-nilly like that. And this was a Jewish person saying this. And he was like, none of this makes sense, like blah, blah, blah. Like that joke about like saving the sea is a direct like correlation to a critique on comedians using like Jewish people as like jokes and stuff. So people really just like to find what they can to be mad about things.
Oh, absolutely. And it kind of sucks too, because that person trying to claim justice or whatever for the Jewish community by like trying to call out Bo on being anti-Semitic is actually doing more harm, because trying to like point out all these stereotypes and stuff, well, you're just still stereotyping.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're just bringing just as much hate as you're trying to say Bo was doing.
Yeah, I agree. It was like about him, people were like, Bo Burnham's been so problematic in the past. Like he said the F word, like,
and vaped, she lied.
she said the N word. If you guys know that audio, oh my God, that is so funny. That little kid that's like talking about Charli D'Amelio, and she's like, she vaped, she lied, she said the N word. Like, we have to forgive her. It's so funny. Oh my God. No, so people were like really complaining about, they're like, oh, like Bo tricked an entire audience of white people into saying the N word. Like he's problematic. And I saw this one TikTok that was like, he literally made an entire bit in his special about how he wants to be held accountable for these things. And he is acknowledging that, he has privilege as a white man and that he is problematic because of the things he's done and the things he will do and all this stuff. And I was like, why are people not like, he's not doing these things to be like reading between the lines. He's being very straightforward about like, hold me accountable. And people are like, I wonder what that means.
Isn't anybody going to hold me accountable? I just loved how dramatic it was with the lighting and the little dance and everything. It was so
good.
And
when he's like on the cross.
Yeah. I also, when he was on like the Peloton or whatever the fuck
that was. Just sweating. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. I mean.
It's weird how you got so many TikToks talking about criticisms of his, because most of mine were like, not most. A few of the ones I've seen were analyzing them, mostly the white woman's Instagram. And what's the other one?
Yeah, that's another thing.
What was the other one? Most of the TikToks I've seen were mostly to the audios of shit and welcome to the internet.
Welcome to the internet.
I think that was one of my favorite songs in the whole special. Jeff Bezos 1 takes like top tier because it just fucking goes so hard.
Mommy let you use her iPad. I don't know what my favorite is.
I also, another top 5, I think, was the Sacco one.
Oh yeah, this is how the world works.
Yeah.
I was so thrown off guard when Sacco came up the first time I was watching it, because I was sitting here like I said earlier, I was just kind of zoning out, not truly paying attention. And then Sacco came on and I was like, what is happening? What is this?
So funny.
I've said before, I feel like there's definitely those bits in the beginning of the show that could translate to on stage bits like really well. And maybe there were a few in there that were ones that maybe he came up with when he was planning on, going back to live comedy. I feel like that one with Sacco would have been like really bizarre on stage. And also like maybe like sexting, that one feels like something he would have done like at a piano.
Yeah.
Like a part 2 to no, it's from, I was thinking of repeat stuff from his first special.
Yeah, I loved about this special is that it made a lot of sense to his stage performances because you just get to see what's going on in his mind instead of just watching him run around and press buttons on stage.
Yeah, I agree.
That you're like, oh yeah, this makes a lot more sense, especially the character shit.
Yep.
But
I think he really utilized the fact that, you know, he was kind of in like a different medium where he could edit things visually versus like on stage. Like I think it'd make happy that bit when he's like, you guys know what a continuity error is? And then like in the clip, he changes into from his sweater to his shirt. And I've always thought about like, I wonder what that was like in real time when he does that on stage, or if he even does it in every show, or if it was just for the one that they were filming, and if he had to stand there and be like, just give me a minute, and had to take like his sweater off and like discard it and stuff. So I think like the mix of like seeing how that translates into like the visual format and like the little in between scenes that he has where he's like adjusting things and having his little breakdown. Yeah.
yeah, intermission was basically just a warning for buckle in, folks. You're about to feel a lot of things I feel. But I think that also relates to TikTok and like us getting all of those audios is that the people that aren't depressed, like severely depressed, aren't getting them, and two, don't understand the special at all.
Right.
Not
They
at
like
all, but they're like
understand at surface level.
Yeah.
That my sister, who is so much more put together than I am, her life top notch. She's got it. Not to say that she doesn't have her own issues, but she's pretty good in life. She watched the special, and she we didn't go in depth talk about it, but she totally just took it like what it was on the surface too. Like it did not hit her as hard as it hit me. So it was really interesting to see exactly what you were talking about, Gabby, with like your mental illness. Mental illness,
isn't it?
Maybe, just maybe.
I think that also ties back into the fact, you know, I've said this when I'm describing the special, is that we're creatives and we have really experienced, I feel like, that moment that he was having like halfway through, which I feel like hit really hard. And I think a lot of people probably overlooked it, was like him saying, I'm never going to finish this. I'm just going to keep working on it forever and ever, and it will never be satisfying and it will never be good enough. And
I'll never see the light.
Yep. And that's just what I have to accept and deal with. And I feel like everyone, when you're like in the throes of like a creative project, gets to that mindset where you're kind of in like a ditch and you're like, I will never get out of this. I will work on this forever because I will never see what it's like to be finished. And that is where I live now. I live here now.
Yep.
Which definitely was probably something that people, you know, they probably saw like his little sad moments and stuff. But I felt like that was really the part of it that hit me, where it was like, oh, he's not okay.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's also like just one of the hardest lessons to learn for anyone going into a creative field is like your work will never be done. If you want it to a certain standard, like if you want it to what the community or whatever you call it, to what their standards for, like for us, it's design and photography. Like the standards of good work now are going to be different than what the standards are going to be in like a couple months. Like it's always changing. So nothing's ever done. So you just have to call it when you get tired of it.
Literally.
Kind of.
I've been seeing on TikTok recently. I forget which audio it is. I think it's either That Funny Feeling or something else, but it's people showing their depression room.
I don't know.
Is it the Oh Look Who's Inside again? Because because I get that one a lot, but the one
Yeah.
I get with that is like it starts off by showing the person walking out of their room and like text appears of like, oh look, they're alive, oh look who finally decided to join us, and you know, the classic thing that your family passively aggressively says to you when you spend a lot of time in your room and you finally leave it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just, when that audio hits, it's just them laying in their bed again.
Well,
Yeah, I've gotten that one too.
Yeah, that I feel like was the one I was seeing the most of right away was people. And I really liked the ones that were that, but they were self-aware that they were setting up to film a TikTok. So it was like kind of this like breaking the fourth wall moment in the TikTok about like being self-aware of being inside. And it was kind of like exactly what Bo was talking about, that his whole critique on internet culture and wanting everything and to do everything and make everything a trend and whatever. And all these people were kind of making it a trend so fast. And then there were people that were critiquing the trend by still doing the trend. It was just like really meta.
I think it's exactly, I feel like if Bo had a TikTok, I feel like he has a secret TikTok.
Maybe.
I wonder if he sees these, what he thinks, because he birthed like a whole new like not group of creatives, but like sparked like a lot of creativity in artists, like just right off the bat after watching the special once.
I think it's also funny that I saw this one TikTok and it was this girl talking about how kind of like what we're saying right now, like Bo Burnham like has critiqued this particular part of culture and he does not like this and he would say this and this. And then she catches herself and kind of goes, no, wait, we don't know anything that he's thinking. That's a whole other critique that he's made about people on the internet and around him that view his life from like a third point of view, that try to like speak for him and say what they think that he would react to. And so that was pretty meta also, because like his whole end in his first special, what like about we think we know you, is, you know, people trying to say that they know him and him trying to kind of like prove them wrong. So it's like this whole tangled web of like, what the fuck, Bo? Like,
yeah, it's really interesting how meta all the topics he covers can get. Like, there's just so many layers. And it's funny because we talked about this exact kind of thing, I think, on the last episode I was featured in, like these parasocial relationships people form where they think they know the celebrities and try to speak for them.
We think we know you. We think we know. I mean, his stuff has always been like critiques of shit like that. Gabby, were you going to say something?
No, it just reminded me of when you said layering was just the unpaid intern. And I really just wish that went on for like a couple more minutes just to get just super chaotic. That, and of course the YouTuber with the knife when he's just sitting there for like a creepily long time. It reminded me of like an Adult Swim skit.
That was like that was
it was really funny.
Again.
It's so funny because I noticed, like, when I first watched the special and it got to that point, like, I completely understood what he was doing there. I completely understood why he had a knife and why he was acting how he was in that bit. Like, I got it. I understood. But then I watched a TikTok of that bit and someone was like, why? And they were so genuinely confused of like, why does he have a knife? What does it mean? Like, what is happening? And then all of a sudden, everything I understood about the bit, like, I just didn't understand it anymore.
I think they're too deep into internet culture and you're like on the sidelines looking at it. And so you are self-aware of why he has the knife versus someone that's like inside of it, doesn't know what it means. But what I was going to say before I just went blank headed was that bit about the unpaid intern and also the YouTube bit and even like the streaming bit, I think were really good. Like utilized the format really well. Like what I was saying before, like that he can edit himself and he can kind of expand his joke beyond the surface of just being on stage with an audience. So
yeah, I also liked how they acted as little like breaks from the songs, and it was just like another, like you said, like another aspect of his mind. But then there was also the theory that I saw again on TikTok as well, was that the house and the space he was in, which is like his guest house, was like a metaphor for being inside of his mind. Like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
well, that's kind of
agree.
like, I think when I was writing notes to prepare for this, because
we love a prepared queen.
It's only been like a couple weeks since I've last watched it. And so I was just going through it, like making little notes. And at one point, I just remember typing, "What is inside?" Because it sounds so stupid and art schooly of me, but it's like his inside is like inside the house, inside your mind, like it's. I don't know where I'm going. Like, it's just so much, but it's all inside.
There's so much to unpack. And also he's like inside of our houses.
He's inside of our TV, inside of our mind, inside of our lives. Bo Burnham is inside.
He's in your mom. He piped your mom.
Bo had sex with
Rob's mom.
Oh, it just reminded me, the funniest TikTok I saw about it was like, I kind of knew Bo was short for something, but when he said whatever that line was with like Robert, I just he's really coming for Robert.
Oh,
I thought it was like Beauregard or something like that, not Robert.
So I've never heard Robert be short since
freshman year of high school.
Literally
sophomore year of high school, and I have gone all of these years, 10 years almost, of just not knowing that Bo was short for Robert. Pretty wild.
The more you know.
The more you know.
Because I was like, he wouldn't just include that name randomly. So it makes sense.
Sex with Rob's mom. Robert's been a little depressed because Bo was piping his mom too much.
Ew.
Oh my God.
Ew. There's too many layers to that one.
It was unhinged.
I think we need to move to the next bit. Move to the next
just
point.
Stop talking about him piping.
Maybe just mute Taylor for a hot second.
I'm in charge of this. I have the controls.
What song made you cry the hardest? Mine was That Funny Feeling. What was yours?
I didn't cry.
I didn't either. I was just like, I was feeling things, but I wasn't feeling anything.
I've cried to That Funny Feeling in my car a couple times at night if I'm driving. Not gonna lie to you.
I have been listening to the soundtrack pretty much on repeat because it just scratches a part of my brain that music isn't fulfilling right now. That I feel like it's really doing something good for me.
I think it just speaks volumes for me personally that not only did I watch the special, I watched it twice, and I even watched another one of his specials.
Yeah, Anna doesn't watch anything.
I don't do that. So, like, it definitely hit different.
And I didn't even have to tell you to watch it either.
No, I asked you. I asked you for your password so I could watch it.
I was like, no friggin' way. She's about to watch this thing right now. That's wild. We got to get
back on topic question. I have, so Taylor, you touched on this earlier. It's talking about how every single thing he did was intentional. And I saw a TikTok of someone else talking about that because this person saw a bunch of TikToks talking about, oh, we saw this so real moment of Bo having a breakdown and then the camera falling. But then people caught that when the camera fell and it turned to a dark screen, you could still see the alarm clock.
Yeah.
And so like, so this TikTok was talking about like that he was acting. That wasn't like a true meltdown.
I have a lot of thoughts about this. I've thought about it. I'm glad you brought it up because I did want to talk about this and I totally forgot. Thank God you're here, Anna.
Are we talking about
how it's performative? How the whole special feels, whether or not it's realistic, like how if it's really authentic that he's actually having this breakdown and everything that you see that's happening that's kind of like going wrong and stuff is either authentic or it's like scripted in performance. So I know we've talked about it before, you and I, Gab, briefly. I think it's authentic and a performance all at once. I think they live simultaneously together. I think that I'm sure when he's taking like a first take, something happened and the light fell over and he probably thought, oh, fuck, like, let me go like grab it and do it, like put it right. And then maybe thought, maybe that would work. Maybe that would be like a good bit to kind of show shit's falling apart or whatever. So he probably refilmed it or did something like that. And this is all speculation. And I think that like when it's his birthday and it says, it's about to turn midnight, you can see through the blinds that it's kind of light outside. And maybe, there was just a light, like an outdoor light right there. Or it was daytime and he just set the clock and closed the blinds. But it's still all real. Like, even though it's a performance and even though he's doing these things and acting them out, it's still his real life. And it's still a breakdown because you can tell, because it would be polished and perfect and wouldn't have these things if he wasn't trying to convey a breakdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just found it interesting to think about because when I was first watching it, like I took it as, oh, he was trying to film and he like, for some reason, my brain just wasn't like connecting that like, this is a partially or fully scripted, special. Like I took it as genuinely authentic, and not to say that it's not, but because I agree, like this performance is rooted in very real feelings and everything. Like what's it like method acting? Like I personally feel like even when you're acting something out, you are still on some level feeling what you are acting out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like, who knows? Maybe on one of those takes of that mental breakdown, he had a mental breakdown. Who knows?
Oh, for sure.
He did.
They were like really just deep reenactments of a prior mental breakdown that he was like, this is a little too ugly for the camera. I might just like do this another way.
Right. Because he's still presenting himself to an audience, and he's talked about before how he kind of craves an audience's approval of himself, and he battles with that. So of course, if he's having like an ugly breakdown or something's fucking going on, he's going to be like, okay, let's try it again and try to not look like this or whatever. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I mean, that goes back to Unpaid Intern when he's criticizing himself to like such a deep level of, I do this because I want the approval, or I do this, I'm a narcissist, but still I want like this kind of attention.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then he starts calling himself out for critiquing himself like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's an onion. He's very layered.
So hard.
That song got stuck in my head yesterday for a little bit because it's so catchy.
Scatting at the end.
I love his little villain laugh in Welcome to the Internet.
Oh, so good.
I don't want to say that this is super accurate, but I think it's the Fine brothers who do all the React videos. Yes, on YouTube.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Well, that or I don't know, but some YouTube channel who does React videos had a vocal coach react to Bo Burnham's special.
Oh, the ginger girl?
Yeah. I think because I'm getting this from a TikTok. I didn't watch the video yet. I'm going to later. And it was like, for some reason, like I knew all of his specials and his comedy was like song based, Because that I am the left brain audio gets stuck in my head all the time. But I didn't quite put together just how good everything sounded. Like, I was shook.
Yeah. I mean, his voice has definitely developed. Like, he sounds like, I mean, of course it's edited versus like live performances. And he has like, all of his synth pop, like backing to the songs, which I think are literally incredible. And versus just sitting down at the piano, I think like the Kanye rant at the end of Make Happy is probably the closest thing stylized to what we get in Inside. Versus everything else is just, him at the piano, like singing his little heart out.
I feel like we haven't talked about the one that wasn't a song. It was just so funny, was the marketing one for
Oh yeah. Yes.
I loved that one.
I love the is. I'm like, I feel like I was in a critique.
Oh my God, it did feel like that. Oh, you're so right. I also love how he's like, bagel bites.
Are you selling bagel bites, or are you selling a cure for Lyme disease or something like that?
Bagel bites? That, and I remember when we watched it the first time, when he was just like, can anybody just shut the fuck up? Can anybody just shut the fuck up for any amount of time? Just, can anybody shut the fuck up for an hour?
I love that one.
I was losing my mind watching that part. It was like making me like laugh, like not even like, like I was just kind of feeling hysterical. Like it, I don't even know. Do you remember that, Gabby? I was like, what the fuck when watching it? Because it just like builds into like this moment where nothing is like, it never like climaxes.
No, it just ends.
It just builds. Can anyone just shut the fuck up? It's so good. Yeah, that was great. Can you talk about how he was wearing a like a tree costume when he was Bezos too? That I felt like was so funny, because I feel like if that was me, like making this special, and I would sit down, like I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, which is probably very difficult, but like you sit down at the thing, start to film it, and then you're like, something's missing. For some reason, that's what you decide on to put on this fucking like.
That was definitely his, it's 3 a.m. in the studio moment.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, oh, he's going through it.
The imagining him like Googling, like for any prop in this entire show, just him looking up, probably on Amazon too, because all the Amazon boxes were cluttering that fucking room.
Yeah. And that's probably why he was like, Jeffrey Bezos, because he probably gave so much money to him. You did it. Congratulations.
Is probably one of the only people who's thrived during the pandemic.
Literally. Jeffrey Bezos can eat my whole ass.
Jeffrey Bezos can choke.
I also love just how tied to 2020 that this whole special is. Like, how, if it wasn't 2020, how would this special be what it is,
It would go over the way his other ones have, where people watch it and they go, oh, this is kind of weird. And then they just never talk about it again. Unless you're like us, who watch it every time they hang out. Or I don't know, in the 4 fucking years we've lived together, I think we watched it maybe a dozen times each. No, maybe more.
Maybe. But it's just like, I don't know what it is, but every time I think about this past year, I just think about all the poor students in history classes years in the future, just thinking about all the shit they're going to have to watch and analyze for essays in their history classes.
So many memes that they like present on. I know there's going to be one kid in a class that's like, they have to do their presentation about like a historical event, and they do like the memes of 2020 or something.
They have to present on Bo Burnham's Inside.
That's just us right now.
No, I know, but imagine you make a PowerPoint presentation, a Google Slides about Inside.
The editing of this episode should be just one big Google slide.
Oh my God.
Make it a Prezi.
Oh, those.
You think the skit of him sitting on a little stool and like trying to recite these like few lines and just builds and he hits himself. Do you think that was performative or do you think that was genuine?
I think it was both.
Yeah.
I think it goes back to, I'm sure that he sat there and he filmed it and he was probably, my guess is that his intention was to just say the line, you know, give his little thing, have it be a little insert. But he was probably messing up because he was frustrated and tired and whatever. And he could have easily decided to edit it out or not include it, but he showed it, thus it becoming like a performative thing. But yeah, I mean, you could ask that about like so many things that happened in the episode special.
I have a fun little question.
Let's hear your fun little question.
Name your top 3 visual moments that you love the most out of the special.
Got it.
I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Absolutely top 3, that disco ball right in the beginning set the whole vibe. I was so just like, whoa, it drew me in. That disco ball, it got me. And then, oh no, I'm blanking. I'm blanking.
You just had one. You were so enthralled by the disco ball. Nothing else mattered.
I was so enthralled by the disco ball. I thought it happened 3 different times.
It's like how Gabi and I thought one character was 3 different characters in one show we were watching.
Fuck that show. It was so bad.
It's so bad, but we have to finish it.
I know.
Going to Sacco, I loved the colors. I don't get why he chose yellow lighting for that, but it worked.
Like he was in like an auditorium.
It made it
in like a school fluorescence or something.
Like those weird guests that you have in elementary school that you're like, why the fuck are you here?
She took her box of puppets. You laughed. And she tried to fit them in the back of her Dodge Nissan or whatever.
And then the third one was during 30, where he just, the phone flashlight just going around, man.
Yeah.
Same vibes as the disco ball.
Yeah. 30 was definitely one that I loved. Yeah, the visuals for that was top notch. There's this one small bit of healing the world with comedy. Either there's like a key change, or y'all dumb motherfuckers want a key change. There's a key change, or like it's when it like starts to pick up and he's standing there at the mic and all like the rainbow lights behind him go. Oh, yeah. I love watching that bit. And it's so good in the album too, like listening to it. So like the sound and the visual goes really well. And then for like my third one, it was in White Woman's Instagram. I liked one of the shots when he's like all like golden lights and like, yeah.
I agree. Sacco is in my top 3. I love the lighting and the colors for that one. Honestly, I really liked, it's between Welcome to the Internet and then Jeff Bezos too.
Yeah.
Like it genuinely looked really cool.
Yeah, Welcome to the Internet with just the all blue.
Yeah.
So good.
And then, oh my God, I lost it. Oh, that funny feeling when it's like that really like quiet wilderness projection.
Yeah.
Was a fave.
Also, like when he's naked on the stool at the end of Goodbye and there's just a spotlight on him and you're like, oh, this poor boy, poor man.
Yeah. And I loved how unsettling the last like minute was of him trying to get back inside.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I also love that little moment of where he was just showing us him fooling around with the hue lights.
Yeah.
Or whatever lights he used. Just swirling the little colors around on his phone, watching them go.
So
it's
good.
Like, if I had those lights, that I would also just do that all day.
I want only colored lights in my house.
Absolutely.
Fuck regular lighting. That shit ain't fun.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Well, this has been Double Gemini podcast. We hope you enjoyed hearing us talk about Bo Burnham and Gabby Hanna.
Yeah, we barely talked about Gabi Hanna, but I feel like there is a lot of, I mean, depending on how we edit it, but there's a lot of bits in here that just aren't about Bo at all.
Oh, absolutely not. But who are we to stay on topic?
We love that tall king. If you want to hear us talk about Bo more, we did an episode about his movie, Promising Young Woman. I don't know why it just felt wrong to call it his movie. Like
a movie he was in.
And
it is for the girls and the gays.
That's it. So you can go check that out too. Anna, thanks so much for joining us again.
Thanks for letting me come back.
You really keep us on track most of the time. You're always like, here's an interesting thought to pose. And then you're like, oh my God, wow. We would never come up with that on our own. Why are we the ones on the podcast?
Glad I can actually contribute something.
You contribute everything and everything.
I'm glad I wasn't delirious for this episode.
Me too.
Because I just worked 10 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Well, thanks for being a trooper and getting on this episode anyways.
Woohoo.
Anything for you too.
Guys, slide into Anna's DMs.
With your favorite line from Bo Burnham's Inside.
Give her a good pickup line. See if she'll respond. She's a tough cookie.
Make it a little challenge.
Yeah. Slip into all of our DMs. You can find us at Double Gemini Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and Double Gemini Pod on Twitter. What was that segue? That was smooth, was it not?
Transition.
Wow. Anna, can you give us your social media handles?
No, part of the challenge is that they have to find me.
Oh, okay. So
that's right.
She's a mystery, boys.
That's a test. If you've watched our past episodes, you'll know what her handle is.
That's true. And if you've watched our past episodes, I hope you know what our handles are, but yet we repeat them every time. Mm-hmm. Can you guys hear the little bells? Because Tiki's out the door.
Pew, 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 pew.
Pew, pew. All right, babies.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
How'd that sound on your end? Do we need to do it again?
No, I think it was good.
Okay, bet.
It was fine.
His daddy made you some content.